buying your first home. It's like the ultimate adult milestone, right? Building that equity, that stability.
Mhm.
But there's this huge hurdle that just makes it feel impossible for so many people.
The down payment.
The down payment, scraping together that initial cash. It really is the moment where the dream meets the reality of cold, hard cash.
Yeah.
And that lump sum can feel completely out of reach when you're just, trying to manage your monthly bills.
Right.
But our deep dive today, it's all guided by these really specific, actionable strategies from real estate professional Andrew Joseph.
And he basically proves that this roadblock, it's not impossible, it's just unstructured.
That's the perfect word for it.
So we're cutting through all the fluff and getting right down to execution. We've pulled out 6 strategies to help you not just wish for a home, but to actually build that fund and make it happen.
What's really interesting about Joseph's approach is that he doesn't just give you abstract advice.
No, just budget better. Exactly. He focuses on strategic allocation, how to put your money to work, and also leveraging resources that are, outside of your own paycheck.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's get right into the first step, which is turning that fuzzy goal into an actual concrete target.
You have to. You can't start saving until you know precisely how much you need.
So step 1, setting the goal.
And grounding the dream in reality. You have to start by researching local home prices. What do things actually cost in the neighborhoods you want to live in?
That gives you the big number.
It gives you the denominator, yeah. Then you decide on your down payment percentage. Usually, lenders like to see somewhere between 10 and 20%.
And let's use the sources example here because it makes the math so clear.
Yeah, the good one.
If you're looking at a home that's, say, $300,000 and you're aiming for that 20% down,
The gold standard.
then you need to save exactly $60,000. That's your number.
And having that specific number, 60 grand, it changes everything psychologically. Now, you're not just saving, you're executing a plan. You give yourself a timeline, maybe 3 years, and you can use an online calculator to break it all down.
So that $60,000 mountain becomes what? A series of manageable monthly goals?
Predictable climbs.
Exactly. That clarity is huge. So once we have the number, the timeline, where does this money actually go?
Right.
Because leaving it in your normal checking account is just chaos.
It's a recipe for disaster. So strategy number 2 is all about separation and growth. Joseph is really clear on this.
Yeah.
You need a dedicated savings account.
And he's specific about the type of account, too, which I really appreciate. He says to look for a high-yield savings account, a HYSA, or a money market account.
Yes.
So why those? Specifically, what's the real difference compared to just a standard savings account at my bank?
It's all about making your money work for you. A standard savings account gives you, almost nothing in interest, maybe 0.1%.
Practically zero.
Right. But a high-yield savings account can offer significantly higher rates, sometimes 4, even 5%, depending on the market.
Wow.
That growth compounds over your 3 years. It's basically free money that's speeding up your goal.
Okay, but I think we need to pause there for a second. For anyone listening who's a bit wary, what's the risk here? Is this like investing?
That's a great question, because security is everything for a down payment fund.
It has to be.
A HYSA is still just a savings account. It's liquid, so you can get your cash out, and it's FDIC insured up to the legal limits.
So it's safe, just like a normal bank account.
It's just as safe. Unlike a CD, your money isn't locked up for a set time, and unlike stocks, there's zero risk of losing your principal. It's just a better paying safe place.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. But the real key to making this all work, the part Joseph calls effortless, is the automation, isn't it?
It is the ultimate commitment device. You use that pay yourself first principle.
So you set up the transfer to happen right after your paycheck lands.
Immediately?
Yeah.
You never even see the money. It goes straight to the down payment fund, and then you adjust your budget based on what's left.
That totally eliminates the willpower problem. You're forced to live on the remainder. Okay, so that discipline brings us right to strategy 3. Trimming your expenses, the audit.
This is where we shift from setting the stage to actively building the capital. And this part requires some serious, honest introspection.
We're not just talking about canceling a streaming service here, are we?
Not at all. It's the micro expenses that bleed us dry. We need to analyze the cost of convenience.
Like the $7 daily lunch you buy at work?
Or the $5 coffee. It feels small in the moment, but that can easily add up to over $200 a month. For a couple, that's $400.
Wow, yeah.
So you look for those small recurring cuts. Joseph suggests being, religious about shopping sales and making dining out a planned event, not just a casual Tuesday thing.
He also suggested something called a no-spend month challenge, which I have to admit, that sounds really intense.
It is intense.
Is that actually sustainable? I mean, don't you just risk burning out and then going back to old habits?
That's a hugely valid point. But it's less about long-term sustainability and more about creating awareness.
Ah, okay.
A no-spend month does two things. First, you save a massive lump sum, which is super motivating.
Right.
But more importantly, it shows you exactly where your money is leaking out. It proves that a lot of what you thought were necessities are actually just discretionary.
So it's a diagnostic tool that gives you data. It's not a permanent lifestyle?
Precisely. You see where the money goes, and then it's much easier to make those small ongoing cuts because you know where that cash is headed instead.
Okay, so once we've stopped the leaks on defense, how do we go on offense?
That leads us right to strategy 4, maximizing side income.
This feels critical for speeding up the timeline. We're moving from passive savers to active generators.
Yes, and every single dollar you earn from this goes straight into that HYSA. No exceptions.
So what are we talking about here? Freelance work, a part-time gig on the weekends, or even just purging your closets and selling stuff online.
That initial purge could be a couple $1,000s right there.
It could be a huge head start. But for the steady growth, you need something consistent. And this is where the math really hits home.
Let's do the numbers on that.
Okay. So if you can get a side hustle that brings in just $200 a month,
Which feels pretty doable for a lot of people.
totally doable. That's $2,400 a year over your 3-year saving period. That's $7,200.
$7,200. I mean, that's massive. That could easily be the difference between a 10% and a 20% down payment.
It's the compounding power of consistent side income. You're cutting $10 here while adding $200 over there. It's so much more effective than just cutting back.
It gives you control.
Hmm.
Okay, moving on. Let's look beyond our own wallets and talk about external help. Strategy 5 is all about first-time buyer programs. And this is a huge blind spot for so many people. They don't know these programs exist, or they assume they won't qualify.
We're talking about real help here, right? Like actual money.
Yes. We're talking about grants, which is basically free money you don't have to pay back. We're talking about low down payment options like FHA loans.
Or even matched savings plans.
Exactly, where a housing authority might match some of what you save.
And Andrew Joseph's phrasing on this is perfect. He says, don't leave free money on the table.
You can't. These incentives exist for a reason. You just have to do the paperwork. It's an immediate injection of capital into your fund.
Okay, so we've set the target, separated the money, cut expenses, boosted income, and found grants. What's the final strategy?
The sixth strategy is less about saving cash today and more about protecting your financial position for tomorrow.
Keeping your credit score healthy.
This might be the most foundational step of all because it determines your actual affordability.
How so?
Well, your credit score directly impacts the mortgage rate you're going to get.
Yeah.
And people really underestimate this. A difference of just half a percentage point can mean tens of thousands of dollars in extra interest over the life of the loan.
So a good credit score makes the entire purchase cheaper in the long run.
Significantly cheaper. The source outlines 3 key actions here. First, and this is non-negotiable, pay your bills on time.
Every time.
Second, keep your credit card balances low.
Okay, let's break that down because I think people get confused here. What does low actually mean to a lender?
They're looking at your credit utilization ratio.
Right.
So that's the amount of credit you're using compared to your total limit. If you have a $10,000 limit and a $9,000 balance, that's a huge red flag.
Even if you're making the payments.
Even then, you want to keep that ratio below 30%, ideally closer to 10. It just signals stability.
And the third action is don't open new lines of credit right before you apply for a mortgage. Why is that so important?
A couple of reasons. First, every application is a hard inquiry, which temporarily dings your score.
Okay.
And second, new accounts lower the average age of your credit history. You basically want your financial profile to scream stability when you're asking a bank for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Stability and low utilization. Got it. So you walk in with that down payment and you're positioned to get the best possible terms.
It's the finishing move. You make sure the interest rate doesn't undo all your hard work saving.
This whole deep dive, it really boils down what feels like this overwhelming journey into 6 really manageable steps.
It's a strategy.
Yeah, it's a strategy. It's not a mystery. It just requires structure, you know? setting the goal, and it requires dedication automating those transfers.
And consistency, making those small cuts and generating that side income month after month.
The message is that it's absolutely within reach, but you have to be active about it. You have to stay consistent.
And celebrate the milestones along the way. Hitting that first 5,000 or finishing that first audit, that stuff matters.
So after laying all of this out, what is the final takeaway? What's that one thought we should leave people with right now?
It's the simplest and probably the hardest piece of advice. We've talked about all 6 strategies, but the one thing that ties it all together is momentum. Joseph states it very plainly. Your future home is closer than you think, but you must. You have to start today.
Not tomorrow, not next month.
Right now. Consistency begins with that very first action,
Yeah.
whether that's opening the HYSA or just researching local grant programs for 10 minutes. Start the clock on your goal today.